And hello and welcome to the Kent Holste Podcast, the long overdue podcast that a lot of people have been going, where is he? What's going on? It's been over a year of no podcasts and I'm confused. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to have it be like this. And I know there's a lot of people who enjoy these because I try to do my best to bring up topics and things that are really important to our lives today. And I got to tell you, it's nice to have the support of people who really care about this podcast and how it affects them and how it makes them feel and gets them through these hard times. And today I want to talk about the hunger and the drive that we sometimes lose within our lives. And it's funny how when we do certain things, we become so comfortable, we become so immune to what is going on in our lives that we just start to settle in that one position. And sometimes when we do that, we just lose focus and we start to not do as well as we should. We instead of going forward, we tend to move back a little bit. We start to think, oh, we know more than what other people do, and therefore we just skip some tools or things that we need to do the job right. And it's funny, it's not just within our work that we do this sometimes. We do this in relationships as well. We do this in relationships, and we tend to forget that we just can't settle within our relationships. We have to continue to change. We have to continue to adapt. We have to continue to do our best to be the best person we can be. And sometimes we fail at that. We lose that drive. We lose that hunger. And what's sad about this is it takes us getting into trouble, like at work, and they tell you you're starting to fall back. We're not seeing the numbers. We're not seeing the drive that you did a month ago or whatever the case may be. And you could even see that within your relationships. The love and compassion that you once had, that fire that you had for each other is not what it used to be. And you know what's funny about the relationship aspect of that is we sometimes say that, but it's still there. It's just we want to see something different. We want to see something exciting happen that maybe hasn't been done in a while. When was the last time that you got flowers, or you went out and did something nice and had a nice romantic date, or you did something that maybe you've never done before, where you do something nice? And I got to tell you, since I've been in Texas, it's amazing the style of how people do things here. That every, a good person when a man opens up a car door or opens up a door to a building for that special someone. It's funny how, people tend to be down in the South. People are known to be respectful. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's just funny. And I think that's what's cool. That's what encourages me, at least, to try to do a little bit more. And sometimes I do lack that. I think we all lack that drive to want to do something more. And we forget it's the little things that make the biggest difference in our relationships today and in our work that we do each day. The thing you got to keep in mind is, without that hunger, without that drive, where are you going in your life? If you continue to say, what is the point? I don't need this. I don't deserve this. I want more than what I can get right now, and I want it now. We sometimes let our hunger and our drive go too far. We tend to push our expectations higher than what is actually possible. We tend to see our personal value more than what we actually think it's worth. And because of that, we use that in our work, and then we force ourselves to think that we're not happy when really you should be fine. And yes, at times you do deserve more. But sometimes we let that eat at us, that drive goes away. That hunger that you had for that job dwindles and it goes away. And I think that happens a lot in our relationships as well. We get so used to everything being one certain way that we expect more. We expect other things that, quite frankly, maybe isn't possible. And a lot of the time it isn't possible because people do not communicate to each other enough. You will not have a good relationship unless you are having that good communication. When was the last time that you sat down with that person and said, listen, I want to make sure that our fire, our hunger for each other is where it needs to be. Let's talk about it. What do you feel we're doing good at, and what do you feel we need to do a little bit better at? We need work on. People don't do that. People just expect. They don't talk. They don't communicate. They don't use that hunger that they have and they claim they have deep down inside to make things better. And if they did have that, things might be a little bit different. I mean, the hunger that we say that we have for one another, that drive that we want to have in our relationships from the beginning seemed good. You know, that honeymoon stage that we often talk about in relationships at the beginning, where everything is perfect. Oh, they're great. They do this, they do that. And then once everything gets comfortable, that hunger that once was there stops because they become comfortable. They just continue as if that's fine, that's perfect. We are where we need to be. And maybe that's fine for one person, but maybe that other person needs a little bit more. Maybe it's something, just a slight thing that needs an adjustment. Maybe it's something bigger. Who knows? But if you truly care about someone and you truly care about what they need and what you need, and you have good communication and you have that hunger and you have that drive to make your relationships the best they can be, then you will be fine. But 9 times out of 10, there is no communication. People just expect you to know what they want. And that can't happen in a relationship, right? You got to have that. And the same thing goes with your work. How can your work know that you want to see more growth within your work, within yourself, if you don't communicate that to them? You need to do what you can to be at your best, to be at that person that you can be, knowing that every single day you can do it. That it takes a team to be successful, whether it is at work or whether it is at home. And we haven't even touched everything. There's friendships with your best friend. Maybe it's your relationship with your kids. Have you asked your kids what they would like to see from you as a parent? Because as a parent, you should have that hunger, that drive to be the best parent in the world, to be the best father, to be the best mother, to be the best step-parent. And obviously, I want to touch base on all this stuff, but apparently I don't have enough time to do that because I got to do what I can here. But that's the power of being a community. Be that community right now. Give that advice to talk about that hunger, that drive, whether it be in a work situation or whether it be a relationship situation, whether it be what we just said about children and how you can step that up. What ideas can you do to have that better hunger and drive and communication? Put that in the comment spot below. Remember, be positive. This is not a time to bash. This isn't a time to be disrespectful. Any of those comments will be deleted, and quite frankly, you might be blocked. We don't want that. That's not what this podcast is about. It's about being positive. It's about being encouraging to each other. So think about that today. I appreciate you guys listening in and being a part of this podcast with me. I thank you so much. Remember, as always, to think and be positive. Do what you can today, not what you can't. And if you see someone that serves our country, whether it be the police, military, fire, or even the hardworking people in our medical facilities, give them a fist bump, give them a thank you very much, and you'll never know how much they may appreciate that one random act of kindness. So thank you for listening. You have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you on the next podcast right here on the Kent Holste Podcast. Take care.